Hey, what's up, everyone? My name's Lionel, and I'm your host for LT Productions, and you are watching I Watch You Watch. We're covering Sisters. This is Season 7, Episode 21. I appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Please like this video, and also subscribe to my channel and leave your comments below. Alright, so let's get into this. This episode, the next week is the season finale. And I'm going to give my honest critique. And it's coming from a place of me not watching for several years and coming back into it. And we'll see where we progress and where we need to work at. All right, so we start this episode with Jordan is at Andy's office. And he's saying, I'm not going to leave until you tell me why you left me. And of course, Andy's like, oh, Jordan, Jordan's like, tell me, Andy, why would you just leave like that? I know you love me. Well, the truth is, I love Gary. What? I don't know, since Gary's been around more and seen him with his sister, I just realized that I love him. So I said, so when we were doing what we're doing and I made you call out my name, you were really thinking about him? Yeah. I don't know what's going on and what type of hold he has on you, but I don't care. I know that you love me. Jordan, just go. I love him. Okay. So he leaves. Fatima comes in and Andy starts breaking down again, and Fatima wants to know what's going on. We'll get back to them in just 1 minute. We're going to slide over to Sabrina's home. First, let's, Sabrina and Karen were talking. I think this is the first time I heard any type of joy or some type of positive whatever with Karen. Because Karen's been a grump for a long time. So Sabrina was like, Sabrina and Karen, they were just supporting, Karen was supporting Sabrina in her decision to get her eggs harvested. Of course, they're using Damani's eggs, or Damani's sperm and all that. She kind of, I don't know why. I think Sabrina said that she wished that Rich would be supportive or whatever. And Karen was like, well, no, you got your girls, and we're going to stand behind you. Thank you, Karen, blah, 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 blah. Damani comes over, and he brings over some flowers. He lets it be known that he already did all blood tests, and everything's fine and perfect. Thank you, writers, that you can use his sperm. And she got a little bit, I guess you want to call winded or like relieved or something to that nature. And she was just grateful that he would want to do this. And he said, no problem, blah, 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 blah. And then here comes Rich. Rich being all manly man, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. What is this going on? Nothing. He came by just to support me in this matter with the whole egg thing. And Rich is just basically saying that he needs to go. It was about to be a situation. Because Damani was like, look, don't let this suit fool you. I said, okay, Damani. Sabrina apologizes for Rich's behavior. And he said that's okay, and he ends up leaving before he catches a case. Of course, Rich and Sabrina, they argue a little bit, because now all of a sudden Rich wants to be this whole whatever. I don't get it. Now he wants to be a part of Sabrina's life. Whatever. And then he ends up leaving. Danny is talking with her psychiatrist or therapist about the latest things that are going on. And she says, I need you to talk me off of this ledge because I'm about to commit a crime against an army official. And she doesn't want that to happen. We don't want that to happen, but we kind of want that to happen, though. We just don't want her to get charged. So writers, if y'all go on and let her sock an eye out, let her sock an eye out, please. Let's see. So we go back to Andy. Andy tells Fatima, about how she's got to do this to Jordan because Jordan is just so perfect, and Gary, he's just so mean. And then Fatima was like, he's not getting away with this. we'll go back to Karen. Karen at the shop. Trey stops by. Karen is giving him a cold shoulder because of what she knows, and she ends up telling him about how she saw him kissing up on another woman, and he was like, "What? Well, we're not exclusive." Well, does Pam know that? Because she's going around here saying that you're the one, and it's best to tell her. Even though me and Pam aren't really getting along right now, that's still my girl. I said, well, at least you got some code of ethics in regards to your girls, Karen. And she said, you better tell her. She didn't say before I tell her, but you need to let her know where you actually stand. Later on, Pam comes in and her and Karen give each other the side eye. Karen was like, I'll be in my office if anyone needs me. And of course, Pam was like, her and Trey talk. He ends up saying, hey, Karen knows about Monica or something like that. I forgot, Monica. And Pam was like, oh. So Pam was already on the up and up about the whole situation. But he said after having the talk with Karen that he had got to thinking and he doesn't really want to mess with that girl no more, and he wants to be more solid with Pam. I said, okay. So I guess we're going to be seeing a lot more of Pam and Trey. Trey, does his voice sound like it's forced? Very deep. Does it sound forced, Steve? Y'all let me know. But Pam's going to be a regular come season 8. I read that earlier this year. Yeah. So we're going to see a lot more Pam in the upcoming seasons. So Pam felt the love from Karen. She's like, oh, so she really does care about me. So possibly there's going to be a scene in next week's episode where her and Pam make up. She does feel like it's insane that she wants to be included in on the her Roots to Riches business. Trey says, well, look, you have been using all of her resources in order to get your company up and rolling. I can see her side. And Pam was like, are you taking her side? It's like, no, it's not that. It's that there's something that you can contribute to her. And he said, I'm not taking anybody's side, but you need to really consider what Karen has allowed you to do. And I agree with him. Yeah, again, like, you can't do all of that, Karen. You would actually be ousted right away if you were trying to, even though it's not straight competition, but as far as the whole, what's the word? When people come by trying to sell their products and stuff, you don't even do your job, but you're sitting up here promoting a new business, and then you're bragging about how rich you are or get successful and little money here. You have no care as to what you've actually done and have put her in the hole. Like, it's a big thing when your insurance lapses. And if she does not get the money, trust me, she's not going to get any more insurance, and she's going to have to shut down the shop. Hopefully the writers put that in there. Like, I thought that was so awful. I thought that was so awful of you, Karen. That is so crazy. But anyways, that's the end of them. So Zach, he goes over to Karen's place, and Ms. Lisa is there. He says that he heard that the baby beds, I forgot what are they called? You know what they are there. And he wants to help set them up. Or he wants to set them up. And he said, oh, great minds think alike, because Aaron's already here, and he's getting things together. So basically, Zach is not a good builder, and Aaron is. They're getting into a little, you know what they do, but not as bad as it has been. Miss Lisa comes in, and she's basically the mother, and basically was saying, there's going to be things that you are good at, Zach, that Aaron is not so good at. Aaron, there's going to be some things that you're good at that Zach is not good at. You got to learn how to use the strengths that we both have and come in where the next person is weak at. And be that way as far as co-parenting. And I think that was pretty dope advice for them. Zach's on his way out, and he says, well, let me just finish up my bed. Which Aaron was building up. Zach didn't even really get started, for real, even though he tried. And then I'm going to be out the way. He ends up leaving. Fatima. She goes and visits Tamara, whatever her name is, at the house, of course. Fatima was like, I wanted so much more for you, but it's so interesting how you tried to play up that you were actually in love with the Mark. And then Tamara was like, I am in love with the Mark. With Hayden. I don't know what she is. It seemed like at the beginning of the season, I guess she wanted to turn over the new leaf, even though nobody trusted her. But just a few episodes down the line, Gary was able to seduce her into having all of this quote-unquote freaky sex. And then he ended up saying that you stank and it's too wide. Like, okay, yeah. And you still want him. So, Fatima's asking her questions. Look, Gary is trying to ruin Andy's life, and Tamara's, and I think Hayden is a part of it. And Tamara was like, I don't think he's a part of anything like that. Isn't Gary stuck on somebody else, and you think it's really Andy? He's really glued on to Miss Mary, and da-da-da-da-da. She ended up giving indication to Fatima that Gary's on to somebody else anyways, that her and Gary are messing around. At least Fatima's giving the audience that, thank you for giving me what I needed. She leaves there. First, Jordan goes to Gary. Gary and Jordan get into an almost embrace. He's trying to force Gary to stop all this crap with him and with the Andy, and you're not going to hold anything over him. I don't even know what the confrontation was all about. It's just like, if y'all not going to square up, then what? I mean, at this point, there's no sense in having any type of restraint towards Gary. So that didn't make sense to me. But anyways, after the confrontation, he leaves. Gary is leaving his office, and Fatima comes down. Fatima's there, and she says, in regards to this whole thing with Andy, I'm not going to let you get away with it. Like, basically, Gary mimics all of that. Like, I'm getting away with it. What now? Gary was trying to walk away. Fatima grabs his hand and said, hey, I'm not through talking with you. The security guard comes over, and then Fatima pushes him away, and then the security guard takes her purse and then pushes her to the ground. A lot of people were upset about that because that's not the type of Fatima. They're trying to... I think that there are some qualities about these characters, which I will talk about on next week, that I don't think that the writer should touch. Because one of the qualities that we did like about Fatima is that she's a no-nonsense, I will kill a bee if I have to, and she gets pushed to the ground. She don't even bring out her pow-pow, and just allows them to walk away. However, I know what I think is the setup is basically a Who Shot JR by the end of the season finale, which is next week. I wish there was something that Fatima did in that moment to say, don't mess with me. So she ended up getting a little banged up with her shoulder or whatever. Jordan goes to Rich's place, and he's soaking in what's going on as far as losing Andy, da-da-da-da. Rich is fuming because he's about to lose Sabrina to this dude that he thinks that wants Sabrina, da-da-da-da-da. Tony comes by, he talks about his whole situation. So 3 men that are having a problem with their women, and for various reasons, he's still too calm about this whole situation, about his ex-wife. He acknowledges to them that he knows that his ex-wife is trying to get with him. However, you still did what you did towards Danny, and you did not say anything. You have not corrected it. And then you sat up there and lectured her. And I don't like that, and you're just too whack for me. These men are quite whack, in my opinion. Hopefully, these men get it together, and they're just weak at this point. So they finally just asked Rich, do you really just not see you without children? You know, he said, well, I don't know. I just always have had my mind frame in one way. After raising my brothers and sisters, I just never would have wanted that. I just know I'll be claustrophobic if I actually had children. He said, if you don't want to lose Sabrina, you may need to get some other type of thinking. I'm paraphrasing that's what they're saying, but basically that's what they're saying. Oh, we go on to Sabrina's appointment to get her eggs harvested. Maurice comes in, and he got his shirt a little bit open so you could see his cleavage. He said, well, this is the day that you're going to get your eggs in, and I wanted to support with showing my cleavage. Maurice is the funny part of the show. He gonna give us comedy and all that. Where are the other girls? they're on their way. I don't know why Sabrina's upset. See, Sabrina's upset with Maurice for being late, but not upset when the girls actually show up. I don't even know if did Andy show up yet. I don't know, but anyways, everybody's there to support her. Is there anything else that I could talk about before? No. So Fatima is at home, and she has to tell Zach what's going on with Gary. Gary, it got physical. Zach automatically is ready to go in ham on the dude, and she's like, no, wait. And Zach's like, no, that's some BS. So Fatima ends up calling Madam, which you know is from the Queen of All Men. That's on BET Plus. So we're finally getting Madam. It's still, I think it's going to be some type of who shot JR situation. It would be easy to pin everything on Madam, but I kind of wanted to be pinned on someone else, and they need to get off, please, you know, so that we can be over this nightmare. But that's all I have, y'all. What do y'all think of this episode? I think it can be better. Hopefully that they did structure things a little bit better. I mean, it can be interesting trying to transition from writing. I think that some of the ingredients are being lost in some of the characters. But anyways, I'll give you my opinion on next week. But let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of the show overall. And that's that on that. I appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Please like this video. Also subscribe to my channel. And leave your comments below as I have invited you to do. Until next week, for the finale, peace.